This is Group 2's Week 7 video. General consensus when we discussed our questions, and our Group 2 question this week was, according to the video lecture, how does the concept of ecological validity help us to do better research and action? How would it apply to your own interest? Use examples. According to the video lectures, a majority of us came to the conclusion that the concept of ecological validity helped us to do better research and better action because it was inclusive and because we did utilize collaborations from different perspectives. It was more of a holistic approach to research, I think is how Al might have put it. Essentially what it does is it forces us to look at ecology in a way that we truly assess who the actors in the situation are, whether that be the researchers themselves, whether it be homeless people, whether it be people working in a financial institution as Al utilized, or if it's people working in coal mines, or those people that are affecting deforestation as Kara suggested. And it does force us to look at the levels, which would include what systems and aspects are important. It does increase the aptitude for us to look at the whole process, which would include looking at the actors and the levels and how those are engaged and how we measure our research. And we do have to have a systematic method in order to measure our research. Across the board, elements of change, we included that you would have to be aware of all 4 of these options ahead of time. We also included the demo system and how we include that in our individual research, but how we can also assess this in a manner that would apply across the board if we were doing research, say, on a large group of people, like homelessness or racial issues, or issues within business. Some of the examples that were utilized, mine was ridiculous about bug spray and spiders and maggots, but the other 2 in my group actually came up with some real situations, real life situations that could be a little more interesting here. The Amazon and deforestation linked with female fertility. Kara was going in a great direction with this, but then it seemed like she gave up because she thought, I didn't know enough about it, but I thought you really were going somewhere great with it. But then you move to Kentucky coal mining and how it affects waters and mountains and a plethora of ecological issues. But then you also linked it to Kentucky's economy and how it affects several workers in the area and how it affects Kentucky's economy as a whole. You said that coal mining is a necessity for Kentucky, and I really wonder what other people in the class would think of that who are from Kentucky or know something about Kentucky economy. Is it really a necessity? Is there another safer form of energy that we could look at utilizing? But that was a great I thought that was a great example, and I'm glad you brought it up. So if anybody in the class would like to talk about that, that would be great. And Al had a great example too. Al, you talk so fast. I had to rewind you several times. But he discusses the holistic interventions and how to collaborate with nonprofit groups and financial divisions and different sectors of business. And of course, if I'm quoting you wrong, please let me know and I will change it, or you can add, or I will add. Just you let me know. This week's been rough. But you did include how educating consumers on financial advising can shift financial education and how people gain knowledge. And I think you were trying to go by that ecological validity example where you do think about the actors who are involved, that being consumers, and you did think about the levels, which would be the system aspects and how they are important, discussing again consumers and capitalism and how the whole system works. or the system works as a whole. And then you included measurements, systematic understanding of the change in the situation. You identified that advising people financially would create a shift in their financial education, which would then lead to knowledge gained, creating a better financially capable and more diverse group of people, creating a holistic approach to financial betterment. Can I say that? I hope I'm doing you justice, but I'm not. If I'm not, let me know and just add, and feel free to criticize, please. Um, had a lot of that this week. But I thought that the two members that posted in my group did a great job. Francis, if you want to post later, that'd be fine. My individual post was late this week too. And I just like to leave the group with some questions. Um, as far as ecological validity is concerned, um, how does this affect the way that we research different social elements? Um, Maybe not directly ecological in the sense that we're spraying people with DDT and then throwing cats at them to solve the issue, but issues like race or a lack of education within, different neighborhoods, or the issue of gender, or as was brought up in the debate tonight, the issue of abortion. I mean, the way Martha posed that question, she asked the question concerning abortion connected to religion, and these two Catholic men are sitting there discussing abortion and how it is related to religion. I would really like someone to respond to that discussion with an ecological validity outlook, and how that affects things, and how we can relate that to this mind process of, you know, who are the actors, what are the levels, what is the process, how do we individually respond to this, and how as a society do we respond to this? How do we solve things like abortion the same way that we solved homelessness in this letter? This is becoming an individual post. Okay, well, I thought I would leave with some questions, so feel free to answer or criticize in any way, shape, or form, and I hope I gave justice to my group. Okay, thanks. Goodbye.